second graders. Let's go over our calendar for the day. Now remember, try not to go ahead because we will be working on some things in our Zoom meetings that you might get to later. Okay, so let's start with our word of the week, inquire. Write down this definition. To ask a question. Now, you can write down some synonyms, antonyms, look in a thesaurus, and since you're asking, it's an action word, we know that this is a verb. Next, you'll go to Seesaw in your Clever account and do the snowman glyph activity. A glyph activity or a glyph usually means you answer questions about yourself, and then that will determine what your snowman is going to look like, or snow girl, or snow boy, or snow person. So you might say if you are 7 years old, it might have this many number buttons. And then you'll get to see how your snow person turns out. Next, what you're going to do is in your materials delivered at the end of December. I know it's confusing because some of our materials were delivered with our holiday things in the end of December. You should have know about snow. And this should be located in your yellow folder if you organized your materials yesterday. Now, you're going to do what's called a cold read and a hot read. Now, a cold read means where you just read it. You've never read it before, and you're going to read it one time through. Then on the back, you will write, here it says cold read. You're going to write how many words you read. Then you're going to read it a second time. Now, the second time for your hot read, you are going to try and read more words, and you're going to be scooping up those words more using expression because you've already read it one time. So on the back, you'll write down how many words you read for your hot read. And then after you will answer the questions, and you can use the keywords from the front to help you answer those questions about this passage. So it's very similar to our fluency passages that you did before. Okay, and then important for our first Zoom meeting, our class Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock, in your December materials, that means with your holiday goodies, you have a face, it looks like a portrait that looks like this, and sunglasses to go with it with lines. Bring those. We're going to be talking about the year 2021 and making some goals today for using these papers. Okay, and you'll also probably want to bring some crayons, have those nearby, and possibly some scissors as well. That's going to be our first Zoom meeting. Now, then you can see down here that during our small group time, and I'm going to add that, yes, we do have small group. So we are going to, so I'll add that right now, actually. If you're not in small group during that time, you're going to be playing a game called Race to 100. And it should be in your math folder, and it looks like this. It has a reindeer at the top. It says Race to 100, elves, and then it has a plus 10, minus 1, minus 10, plus 1. This is where you're going to use a spinner, and how I usually do that is I use a pencil and a paper clip. I put the pencil and the paper clip in the middle, and then I put the pencil and I point it down inside the paper clip, and I flick the paper clip so that it spins around and will land on one of these numbers. Now I'm going to start here, and I'm going to, depending on what I spin, that's how I'm going to move across the board. You can play this with a partner, with a sister, a brother, a caregiver, an adult, whoever is at your house, or if you need to play by yourself, that's okay too. You can just see how fast you can make it to 100. So if you start here and you get plus 10, you would jump to 10 more. But then the next time you spin, if you get minus 1, you have to go back 1. And then if you get, I don't know, plus 1 though, you could go back forward to another 1. So it depends on what you spin. And the first person to make it to 100 is the winner. But if you spin minus 10s or minus 1s, you're going to end up going back. And then you might get a plus 10, then you might end up going forward. So it's a fun game. of adding and subtracting tens and ones. So go ahead and do that while you're in your small group with me. And then after small group, and you've done your math, and if you have extra time, you've done clever, you've gone to clever for extra math, then you're going to be finishing this for writing today. So we're going to talk about our goals, and then you're going to be finishing writing and coloring this today for your writing time before you go to lunch. Now, the reading group today at 11 o'clock is the frosting group. So if you're part, and you can click here to see if you're part of the frosting group. And then after lunch, you'll be Zooming with Mrs. Boris, your first music of 2021. And then last, you're going to be diving into some nonfiction text and nonfiction videos. So it says learn about animals, where I'm clicking here, and it has all sorts of different slides about many different animals. And I want you to choose an animal. And then you get to record your learning on this nonfiction learning. And it's a slide deck right here. So you'll click use template, and then you will record all you learned about that one animal. So you just choose one at a time. And this is how we're going to practice doing research and collecting information about animals and topics. Okay. And I think that's it for today. So I will see you at 9 o'clock with your sunglasses and your paper ready to learn. That makes a big difference. I know you guys can do it. Great job, second graders. See you in a bit.